Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome to Young Titan World. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today on Roadside Reviews, we're going to be talking about the legend of Catclaw Mountain. Now, obviously, we've made a video about it. I mean, there are so many things to talk about that we had to make a video and upload it onto the TikTok. So if you want to go check that out, that's on God of Entertainment, Young Titan. You can't really miss it. YUNGTYTN. And that's where you're going to find me on my TikTok. My YouTube is also Young Titan World, also the same name, just add WRLD, you can't miss that one. But yes, we are going to be talking about the legend of Catclaws Mountain. It's a terrible movie. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's terrible. It's kind of like one of the startup companies that are trying their very best to make a movie, and obviously you gotta give them props for the child actors. I'll give the child actors credit because I know that if you're starting acting from a young age, it's never easy because you're trying to do your best and also at the same time you're trying to like pick out the kind of actor that you want to be. And it can be confusing, it can be difficult, so I can understand that. But I also got to say that when it also comes to the adult actors, I was not really that impressed. It sucked, it was terrible. I have to say all those things because there were very few actors within this movie that actually acted. Okay, the rest of them, I don't know, maybe if I've been watching too many top tier or high class movies that has given me some sort of, elevated sense of reviewing how actors act. But in my case, they were not something to write home about. Maybe it was the way the cameraman recorded it, or maybe it was the way the studio itself decided to show the setting. But I've not even gotten to the storyline itself, and I've already degraded every single thing about it. So if you are going to listen to that far, I do apologize for what's coming next. So The Legend of Catclaws Mountain is mainly about a talking pony that gets close to a girl that is told can be led to a treasure with the help of said talking pony. Now, in the beginning, none of us really know whether that's true or it's just made up. There's a tattoo on the freaking pony that says that uses it as an indicator, some like a compass to help find the treasure on the Catclaws Mountain. And the grandma purchases the pony because to everyone's eyes it was just a wild animal that wouldn't shut up or was always wild, and they needed to find a way to just get rid of it. So the grandma bought it, and the kid, or at least the girl, found out that the pony could actually talk. But thing is, the pony could only talk to her, so that's kind of like limiting. Anyways, there's also another group of people that are searching for the gold, and they realize that the talking pony is somewhere. So, they find out that the grandma purchases it, and they go to her, telling her that they're willing to buy it for whatever price that she might have in mind, but she denies it and tells them to get the fuck out. So they decide to steal it, right? They steal the freaking pony, they go to the Catclaws Mountain to try and find it. Now, the girl finds out that it's missing, but she's got to go to school. She goes to school. On her way there, the school bus driver overhears her talking about the pony that can lead people to the gold on Catclaws Mountain. So rather than send the kids to school, he decides to stop his day job of sending kids to school and go on that treasure hunt because he is a he's a gambling addict and he's in a lot of debt. So he decided that the best way that he can, recover his losses is if he goes on this wild goose chase for the treasure and pay off his debt. Right, yeah, that seems logical because when they were creating this script, they were like, this is so genius. Yeah, so anyways, it's supposed to be a school going to school thing, but now it turns into like a field trip going to Catclaws Mountain. So to get there, try and find as many possible ways to be able to find it, even though they have no sense of direction or have no idea where they're going. They decide to just go there because apparently that can lead them there. Now, among the child actors, the protagonist, or at least the main girl who can talk to the pony, she is mild, okay? I wouldn't put on her the best actor in the world, but she was not terrible at it, okay? The rest of the cast was kind of like forgettable. You know, it's not like you would put a badge of honor for what they did. Even the recluse or the psychopaths who were supposed to be the bullies or anything, they were like corny, cheesy to the point where you did not even want to watch them when they came on screen. It just made your skin crawl. Anyways, they have no sense of direction or no idea where to go, but they decide to just follow instinct, and apparently it helps them. They meet a man on the mountain who's supposedly a magician who existed in Catclaws Mountain, and he tells them the story that Catclaws Mountain was actually a peaceful neighborhood filled with magical creatures until it was cursed by a witch who wanted the gold that was there. And even though he was a wizard who could have stopped her, he actually allowed himself to get cursed by another witch, and just take that in stride. I mean, what kind of wizard are you to just stand there and let another witch curse you and just, I don't know, like the amount of nonsense you have to go through in this entire movie is insane, okay? I'm sorry that I have to say this, but why? Like, you couldn't even build up a wizard. It's not like it's something ridiculous. You've created a magical world, and he's the sole wizard within that mountain. So how the fuck do you just underrate his powers to the point where he can't do anything against a woman witch? So you're saying that women can be more powerful than men? Is that what you? No. Imagine you're the only defender for a team. Don't you think you should equip yourself with skills that can help you defend against any kind of threat? It never sits right with me. I guess I've been overthinking the storyline a little bit too much, but the idea is still the same thing. When he tells us the story, I guess I have no other choice but to listen to it. The other thing that's a little bit creepy is how he decides to communicate with the girl who can talk to the pony. Now, they're all sleeping by the campfire, right? They're all tired. They all decided to get some rest in order to, just continue the next day. Sounds reasonable. Makes a lot of sense. But you know what's a little bit weird? That in the middle of the night, when everyone is asleep, the magical wizard who got cursed by the witch decides to call out the girl who is also asleep, whispers in her ear, makes it that only she can hear him talking, and then leads her out to a different place altogether and has a discussion with her. Now, that didn't seem creepy at all to any of the script writers whatsoever. It was just like, oh yeah, just let the old man call the young girl away from everyone so that they can have a chat. So what? Little kids can also say that, hey, you know what? It's a good idea for a total stranger to call you out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the night, and have a conversation with you. Yeah, that's reasonable. That's reasonable, isn't it? Yeah, great advice. Great advice. Anyways, let's just double down on what this story is about, okay? Now, already we've introduced so many factions, right? We're talking about the school kids that get dragged along. You can actually say that they got kidnapped by the school bus driver. So that's faction 1. Faction 2 is the one that stole the pony from the grandma and is in pursuit of the treasure. So that's faction 2. Faction 3 is a group of people that are money collectors, debt collectors for the guy who lended the money out, So they're out there looking for the school bus driver. and their intention that they're going to take whatever it is that he's trying to use to pay them off, right? Because he told them that he's looking for treasure, and they also believe that shit. So they're also in pursuit, right? Now, what happens is that, whilst the creepy guy decides to call out the girl in the middle of nowhere and talks to her, he advises her about some plants that can be really dangerous. She doesn't really tell anyone else that, and they wind up, one of the school kids ends up being blinded by the plant. A plant out of nowhere. He gets blinded by it because he sniffs on it, and then it causes him blindness. That's great. Never sniff flowers. Great advice. I can't be more well educated. That's the peak of knowledge that has been given to me. That's absolutely amazing. And so now we have a blind kid who is supposed to seek medical attention, but decides to forgo that moment just so that he can find the gold. Now, it's either you're stupid or you have no idea what you're doing with your life. Okay, let me put it this way. You're blind, right? Even if you did find the gold, how would you know that you found the gold? He was willing to forgo the fact that he couldn't see anymore. Do you have to be... I don't... Okay, where they're placing their priorities in this movie it scares me, because if you're saying that this is okay for a kid to watch, you're saying that it's okay to talk to strangers, especially even if you just met them for one day. It's okay to trust them and have conversation with them in the middle of the night. The next thing you're telling me is that their priorities should be beyond the things that they can do and see. So if they get crippled, they should prioritize something else instead of their own livelihood, or their own lives for that matter. It's just every single piece that they try to sell me on within this movie is it's all wrong. It's all wrong. Mind you, at the end of the day, no one gets the gold. No one gets the gold. Do you know who gets the gold? Do you know who gets the gold? Just take a wild guess. Take a wild guess. It's the guy who got debt to pay. The gambler, he got a big portion of the gold, because at the end of the day, I don't think I want to go through this anymore. I don't think I want to go through this anymore. When I talked about the wizard who got cursed, he doesn't know shit about his own magic craft. He had a friend who was turned into a greedy asshole who was scouring through the entire mountain trying to find gold pieces, but he never did find them, and that kind of drove him mad. He got brought back to normal, although at this point I don't really see the necessity for it. It's all messed up. So at the end of the day, the wizard gives her the gold, right? Gives the girl who can talk to the pony the gold. The guy who came there first after he stole the pony with his henchmen, who one of them ditched him, they got nothing. And the wizard, the kind of plot holes in this thing is amazing. Because the wizard turns back time to the moment that they get on the bus. That moment where the girl tries to spill the beans about the treasure and everything, and changes the school bus driver's mind and lets him go on this wild goose chase. He sends them back into that time, and she's the only one that remembers everything, whilst everyone else is technically brainwashed, or they're just been, reversed back to that stage where they were oblivious to everything, right? He could turn back time, and all this whole time, let me get this straight. From the very first moment that he encountered that witch, who is supposedly one of the predecessors of the girl who could talk to the pony, he couldn't turn back time then? He couldn't do anything? He was casting fireballs to people who couldn't use magic, and he couldn't go toe-to-toe with a witch? Like, what part of not... Okay, maybe I wouldn't complain if I had to make a movie. But Lord knows that if I'm making a movie, I'm gonna sit my ass down and try and think of all the consistencies that can exist in my world, in my movie. Because one thing that I can appreciate about movies is the world they build, world building. World building is a very big topic for me. I cannot stick with something that has a world building that is mild or shallow. It's like, okay, you're just like, what, you're doing this for the kids? If you're doing this for the kids, I can get that. But if you do the world building right, you can attract both kids and adults. In fact, you can get kids who turn into adults and still like your shit. Ask Tolkien. Just... It was a terrible movie. If you want to find a movie to nitpick, to have problems with, to hate till your very last breath on this earth, my suggestion is go after Legend of Catclaws Mountain. Now, no disrespect to the studios. I'm sure you did your best. I'm sure you put in the effort, you put in the work, you galvanized as much as you could. But I hated it. And let me just say, whilst I was watching this, I couldn't watch it in one sitting. I watched the beginning. I fell out of love with it immediately. I stopped watching it. I went to watch something else. And then I came back again, and I forced myself to watch it because I had to finish what I started. I had to finish a movie that I didn't really like because I had started watching it. And I had to finish it. Not because I enjoyed the storyline, but because I had to finish it. But imagine if that's the movie. If that's how movies were, people wouldn't watch movies, you know? Because if you can explain to me how I can watch Pauline, which was 8 episodes, or probably 12. I keep watching TV shows that are either 8 or 12. If I could watch Pauline, which is like technically 40 minutes, 45 minutes each, just multiply that. That is just basically longer. If just all of that in one sitting, or at least I could watch 4 in one go. That is already longer than your entire movie. So maybe you want to pick up the pace, or just find a world builder who actually, if you want, hire me. Let me make a movie for you. Let me work with whatever limited cast you have. Let me be your director. All right? I'm gonna direct the movie, and if it sucks more than Catclaws Mountain, I will never complain about this shit again. In fact, I will say Catclaws is the best shit ever. And I will promote that shit. I'll probably have one particular episode every single week talking about how great Catclaws Mountain is. I'll just pick one particular topic and talk about it, even if it kills me. All right? Because I love cinema. Ever since I was a kid, it's the one thing that inspires you. So if the things that you are talking about in your movie is inciting a whole lot of harm for children, is inciting a whole lot of damage for the future, I don't think that your studio should be allowed to make movies. Because how is it okay to talk to strangers? Because they're magic? There are people who are high as fuck who believe that they're magicians. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys take care of yourselves and have a fantastic day. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go stream Teamfight Tactics on our Twitch channel. And like it or not, I talk more here than I do there, which is the irony, because, you know, streaming is supposed to require you to be a lot more of an intriguing individual. I guess I hit that one out of the park, didn't I? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more. I'm trying really hard to like put pieces together, but gotta tell you, it's not really that. It's not simple. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye.